All right, so after some pretty heavy rain, I just showed up here. Mama is off the nest, so hopefully she'll stay off it long enough. I can get up there and assess those eggs. They're probably waterlogged. Try to get her this nesting material if she'll stay off of it long enough. So we'll see if we can distract them with some food. Come on. Come on. I know, hissy pants. Come on. Come on. Okay, so as you can see, man, it's all wet up here. This ain't much of a nest. I've seen pigeons with better arranged nests. It's all wet. I don't know if she's even tried, if she just abandoned it because of the rain now. Let me go get my flashlight so I can candle these. Okay, so it may be a little hard to tell here, but I'm going to show you. So this one is more or less pretty translucent. There doesn't look like there's a lot going on there. That doesn't mean it's not fertile, but you see that little line there, that airspace? That's not as, that airspace is not as big as like on these other two. These other two are more opaque. On the other ends, the airspace has grown. So these were fertile, and it's not dark enough out here right now. I'd have to take these to a darker environment. I may do that just to see if there's babies. Yeah, let me just try to get those down to the truck and look at them in a little darker environment and see if there's still any babies alive in there. Okay, so this one you can see quite a bit of light in there. You can see the yolk there on the top, but that has a lot of light going through it. It's very translucent, so that one may not be fertile. Actually, now that I get this one in the dark, this one too, though, that looks like that was probably, that's the opaque spots in this one is big enough that just a yolk, a regular yolk, doesn't really account for that. This one really too. Yeah, there were babies growing in there. I don't know if they're not as far along as I would have expected for her having been sitting up there at least a week. I've known about it, if not longer. So they may have already failed. I would have expected more. That one, the membrane in there may even be, I'm not even sure if that's ruptured, but so it's kind of hard to demonstrate here with it's not very dark out here. We're out in the daylight. Two of them that I don't know, maybe if they still had a chance. I'm going to go ahead and put them back there. No, they're not even far enough along in development, though, that there would be embryos moving around. So, but let's go ahead and get them back up. All right, so I kind of got interrupted by this guy over here in this charcoal colored truck walking his Yorkies around. Came pretty close to the geese. He's drunk, walking around in public park with a beer can and a koozie, drunk. And then he proceeds to tell me about how the daddy goose, they got too close, because he's walking way too close around here to where they are anyway. And then he proceeds to tell me the other day about how the daddy goose came at him, came at his dogs, and then came at him. And then he said, I kicked the shit out of him. And then that's when I said, that's when I got onto him. And when I started telling him about how it's a $5,000 fine, they're protected and they're nesting right now and all that kind of stuff. And he's out here in a public park consuming alcoholic beverages and sounded inebriated. And I think he was so drunk, he didn't realize when I said I was a wildlife rehabber, but he heard wildlife, so I think he worried. And then plus, you know, the way I'm dressed, you know, in khaki and camo and camo ball cap and all that, he probably, so he probably thought I worked for the state Parks and Wildlife or something like that. So he got pretty contrite real quick. Just a dumb, stupid redneck out here in the park drinking beer. Drunk boomer walking his Yorkies in the park here, telling me about how he kicked the daddy goose. And I told him real quick, I don't want to hear no shit about that. I'm out here all the time and I better not see you doing it. Stay away from him. He comes right around that corner and then pretty much just walks his dogs within 15 feet of him. Like, you know, he's testing them. He's provoking them is what the asshole was doing. Some of these assholes, they just, you know, they come and intentionally try to provoke him with his dogs off leash and everything, which is another violation. I speak up. I don't, I'm going to say something about stuff like that. I'm going to stand up and defend the animals. So, as I was saying before I was interrupted, these eggs, it doesn't really look like, for as long as she was sitting on them, they're not developed as far along as I would have thought they would be by now. She might have even been on this. When did I buy this wreath? It may be 2 weeks ago since she laid them, and at least a week and a half that since she was sitting on them. Let's see. Yeah, because I couldn't get back here. I had all these animal cases with the bunny and the stuff like that. And I couldn't get back around here to her. The other goose with the fishing lure stuck in his foot. So at least a week since I know she's been sitting on the nest consistently. And I would have expected farther along, but it's also been a lot cooler than seasonal norms right now. And we're actually looking at 36 degrees tonight. You know, in the 40s for this weekend. It's like about 48 degrees today. Going to be 36 degrees tonight, and then it's supposed to be freezing. It's supposed to be 32 degrees Saturday night, or into Sunday morning. So, will these eggs even survive? Are they already dead? I don't know. It looks like they started out fertile. They started going, and then they may have already died. But anyway, we're going to put them up here. We already bought the nesting material. So we're going to put this up here and we'll just see if Mama wants to come back and use it, or if she's may have already just given up. And to be honest with you, sadly, I think she's already given up, because while the daddy was honking at me a little bit, he's not as protective. Before, I would expect her to fly up there or him to fly at me or whatever, but they weren't really coming at me. She wasn't trying to fly back up there. You know, they're not being as aggressive as they were like last year when I got close to the nest, before she really started sitting on it. So I fear that at this point she's probably abandoned it, but we'll see. At this point, there ain't nothing we can do about it if she has. But just give her this nesting material and see if she keeps trying with them. But I'm about 75% on odds that those eggs this year ain't gonna make it either, based on the looks of their development for as long as she's been sitting on them.